Wow, this looks so cool. Look at this, look at this, look at this.
I've got the key.
I can't get in the car.
We've bungeed through the windows and now we can't open the car door.
So what an amazing day we had in Murcia. So in a minute we'll go through the whole haul from Murcia. But first, here's what happened on the return trip.
This is the car park.
Looks like it. The clues are there. Surrounded by probably orange groves, mountains. Amazing, really. Wow, this looks so cool. And our eyes are drawn straight
to this orange chair.
This orange chair, which is in quite a rough condition, but I had in my mind that maybe this was an IKEA. And it is.
It is. Wow.
You wonder whether that would clean up. Teacup for a car, whether you can do that for a
plastic. I bet you can, you know. But we could always find out how much it is because it's worth it just for that, just to see if you could, and
just to take a punt on it, and then.
And it's just such a cool piece. I think for the right person, in the right place, with a cushion on it. That's just for the look, really.
I would sit on it and try it out, but it's black, so I'm not going to do that. But yeah, that's something to think about, and I love this slightly washed out orange colour. It's always a shame when they leave things outside and you think, what's the logic behind leaving stuff? I mean, no, it doesn't rain very often here, but it gets sun damaged. I mean, I've seen these new in kind of boutique stores, these kind of plant pots. Plant covers, I should say. It's not in too bad a nick considering it's been out here, but
once it dried out as well, it would probably be.
Depends how much it is. I've no idea what the prices might be, so we'll keep that one in mind. Look at this! Look at this! Look at this! How cool is that? I think it's in two sections. This back section is all leatherette. Yes, it would go side by side, I think.
Oh my God.
What can I get you?
Well, you can imagine the sort of place it's been sat in.
This is open here, so you can sit all your glasses and things on there. That was someone's pride and joy. Oh my goodness.
Huh?
Look at the face, look at the lips. How bizarre is that? 150. It's like the devil.
Oh yeah, it is.
It's got horns. Lovely long wooden beads.
Long beads. Oh, they are wooden as well.
Yeah. And I think they're maybe 150 each. So anything you like, grab it.
Yeah, there's some nice stones and things.
It's quite interesting.
That's quite interesting.
We picked one up in the other Emaus store in the centre of Murcia with these glass beads and things and plastic rings on it. Quite interesting. Quite a nice colour. Quite a nice length as well.
Yeah.
So I found some fashion glasses from the 80s. How cool are they? Gosh. Just very stylish, very 80s. And then we've got other colours too. 150 for the set. Lots of glassware.
I like all the orange glasses. They're always.
Yeah, they're nice. They're nice. They're a nice shape. Actually.
Yeah, they're the ones I just picked up and was looking at.
Nice, €4. They're all like in sets of 5.
All of them. That's quite good.
So we'll see how much cash we've got left when we've done the final reckoning up, because they only take cash here. Something quite simple about that. Quite nice with this just basic yellow stripe round. Quite solid.
Yeah, I was going to say, I quite like the handle as well.
It's like a big pint beer glass almost, but €5. Look at this old telly. So cool on this amazing stand. Wonder what you'd put on there. Your Radio Times or something. I love it though. So period. It probably still works.
I love the style of it. The dial.
Just the clunk of everything. So we've got a bit of jewellery going on, so I wondered whether, if we found any we liked, we obviously can't have leather handbags and things, but some of these little macrame bags seem in quite good condition. That's probably even handmade.
Handmade, I think. Never been used, I don't think.
It doesn't look like it's been used for €1.
Oh wow. Well, I think that's a taker.
Maybe. Sniff test smells good. It's got like a little bow on the front.
But that's quite sweet, isn't it?
And then interesting, I'm not sure if I like the handle so much, if it's a bit too shiny. But it's got lovely beads on it. There was a real thing for crying children in artwork in the 60s and 70s. I'm not quite sure what that's all about. So we have to be careful in here not to get totally distracted and lost and lose like hours of time. An old photo, or was that just a print? I think the whole thing's a print maybe. Quite nice. Quite nice kind of colours in it. This one is quite a similar one to this, I think. And that's €1.
But it's quite different because of the colours and the weaves and the textures.
Two-tone, the flat, and this kind of woven. I think he's worth a little chance.
Taker.
We'll pop in with the handbag. So we're going to give this a try for €3. See if we can clean it up. It's quite cool, isn't it?
Yeah, that's nice.
So this is
because of the length. It's
unravel this. It's nice. So you could probably even then double it up as well. So that's quite nice. So we've got a nice little selection of things. This was the budget because it's cash only. A lovely spot to come to as well.
And the people were so helpful. The lady, she didn't want to be on camera, but
it was interesting because she said if it doesn't sell here, it just gets thrown away. So this is Last Chance Saloon. So what we've bought is either the bargain of the century or the biggest waste of money ever. Okay, so let's take a little Google Lens image. So it's in a little bit of a better condition than ours, but it's exactly the same. It's orange, and that is coming out at £60. Fitting it in to a Sandero. Yeah, so a good little haul there. The chair's fitted in, so we'll give that a bit of a clean up and some nice bits of jewellery, a real nice selection. So we'll be back here probably in a few months and see what else we can find. But for now, let's head back into Murcia to the next place. Probably 1950s. I can see a nice little mirror as well. So let's head in and have a little look. I can also hear a little dog. So this has got a beautiful look about it. Kind of a luster as well as this lovely drip glaze. Amazing colours. And it's, only €18. So that perhaps seems like quite a nice...
that seems quite good.
Yeah. So this is 280. I mean, look at that.
And it looks like it's almost, it looks Italian to me, but...
It looks a bit like Murano glass or something, but it's very tasteful in that, just that smoky glass. There's so many nice things. The lovely vintage wall unit over there.
The stools.
The stools are very cool in a very kind of modern way.
I think what this display of this antique showroom shows as well is that all of the styles mixed together. You've got very ultra modern.
Shows you it's possible to mix things up.
Just all beautiful things together.
Pommel horse type thing from the gym, €75. I think you would see that in the UK for many, many hundreds. I'm thinking at Newark Antique Fair, places like that, this stuff sells really well. So the prices are really good. So that's 115. It's an opaline vintage glass lamp.
Yeah, very nice.
So smooth. Yeah, there's a really eclectic mix in here. But she's very kindly allowed us to film. Because they are a bit more unusual, that one even more so because it's got the two-tone. Maybe that's something we could consider, but... Wow. They look very 60s to me. Aries. Some of them not been finished. Taureau, Leo, and Capricornio. Someone's obviously started this project and not quite finished it. And on the back of this one, you can see how they've kind of put the colours together. That's such a lovely bamboo table.
Beautiful for a kitchen.
Tiled, not totally to my taste, but obviously done really well. It's very low, but how much is that? 110. So the prices on certain things are really good, actually. We are working against the siesta, and a lot of these places close at 1:30, so we're slightly on the clock again, which is the story of our life here in Spain. So we're going to go with this lovely mirror and this lovely vase. Well, we came into this one thinking it's maybe not going to be for us, but actually a real mixture of very bougie gilt furniture, retro, 50s, modern, ultra modern really. Some really interesting things, and we managed to make a couple of purchases. The price is a little bit higher, but because we're buying in euros as well, we can get away with it, and the conversion is quite good.
And here it is.
So, do we still like this?
Certainly do.
So we've got to now strap it to the roof of the car and get this all the way about an hour and a half down the road. Terry y Tom Reserva. Yeah, it's really cool. I love it. The colours, the texture, different textures, the different weaves, really cool.
And even the sort of stressed frame is lovely because it's...
Yeah, I looked at it a second ago and thought, is it a bit rough? But it's meant to be. It's just
meant to be like
and
that.
Once you've given it a good old wipe up and a clean, it will look really cool. Just a little light hoover. I remember this from last time. I thought this was lovely with the green and the brown. €8.
Quite handy revisiting because we keep saying we do shopping on our own YouTube videos because you suddenly think, oh, we forgot that.
Oh, if only I'd have got that. I think it was €15 last time I was here, and now it is 5. So we also looked at that the other day.
Whether they've gone down, I
4,
don't know.
and I don't remember seeing that, but I think that's quite nice as well for 3.
I think they're takers as well. The tray as well, that's
So
nice.
it's not the finest, but for €3, that might be quite good for display.
Yeah, it's quite good for, well, even like you say, for putting, I never thought of that,
Putting
for putting the
jewellery
bangles in and that sort of
Yeah,
thing.
different things. So that's quite nice.
Yeah.
So we'll have him. The question is whether to have the Leaning Tower of Pisa with the hat. What do you think?
Maybe not.
I also saw
the same
that
one?
for €2 now. So I think that's quite a nice little dish.
You'll probably be able to put a bit of scratch cover on there.
Well, exactly. It just needs a little polish up. And then there's such an inexpensive item that then you can sell them at 5, 7, whatever. So
A little bird to put in there.
yeah, he's got a big chip on his tail.
Oh, that's a shame. Oh, yeah.
I thought that was unusual.
Folk arty.
Yeah, and this
And
one
what's
is like
that?
a platypus or something.
You
For
got it?
€5, yeah. So
So
smooth.
what do you normally just lay down?
I think it might be like a platypus or something, you know, just skimming through the water. Pop him in the trolley.
Well, considering we've only come to pick up
Pick up one thing.
one item, we're doing quite well.
Right, moving on. Like a flower
Oh, yeah,
frog.
I will.
Yeah, unusual. Whether it needs a new mechanism in, this obviously comes off at the back and then you pop the mechanism into it, so you could easily change the mechanism. It's David Marshall design, Seville. €15.
It's quite nice, really.
We'll pop it in the trolley. So this has got a massive stain in the middle, so depending on how much it is, we might risk it and then put it through a 60-degree wash and see how it comes out. It's
For a
obviously
doll's house, I should think.
like big enough for a doll's house. But I think the design and the colour is really cool. So if we could clean it up, we'll have to look for some tips or get some tips from you guys about how to best clean up something like this.
Ooh.
We're getting quite a trolley full. So here we go. Do we still like it?
We certainly do. We need
Yeah,
to.
love it. Now we just have to get it on the roof of the car.
Oh, this is the challenge.
The things we get ourselves into. This wouldn't fit in the trolley, so. This clock. I think that's really cool. Well, a good little discovery, this particular Segunda Mano. It's in the most awful location, right by this hugely busy road. But they're so friendly, they reserved that big picture for us. So, yeah, it's a good find. So the smalls will fit in the boot, really easy. Then we've got to try and get this big tapestry on the roof. Wish us luck. So we're on the roof, nice and solid. Almeria, here we come.
I've got the key.
I can't get in the car because of the
Oh. We've bungeed through the windows and now we can't open the car door.
just this central section has wiggled loose.
Ah.
So minimal damage to the car, minimal damage to the actual thing, but it's back. So how about this for a haul? So we went back that second time to Murcia, picked up the tapestry, but then maybe just snuck in a couple of other bits because we couldn't resist, you know? To start with, this was one of the first things we spotted. This Moroccan boy, I'm assuming, lovely face, really pretty face. Obviously just a print that they have then texturized to make it look like an original, but for I think €9.60, because they had a promotion on where you got 20% off on that last Saturday of the month. We picked up lots of wicker as well. So this one, for example, was £1, as was this one. So if we can pick up wicker like this for that kind of price, it means we can sell it in the UK for like a £5 item. A little bit of wood as well. So this is like a little teak sweetie dish, I suppose, nibble dish. So that's really cool, as you see there, for £2. We've also been big fans, as you know, of studio pottery, and there's quite a few pieces here that we've picked up. This one was the first one that comes to hand, which I think has been used for a candle holder, and I think that's what we would probably do as well. Just nice colours, just adds a splash of colour, you know, into the neutrals. So he was nice. I think he was about €3, something crazy like that. Now on our return visit, we actually opted for these. So you might have seen them in the first part of the video before we returned. €4 and €3. I mean, they're just great value. All studio made. I think they're probably Portuguese. So on the back of this one, yeah, Portugal. So great value as little trinket dishes to put your jewelry in, sweeties, whatever you fancy really. We loved him as well. What do you think he is? Is he like a platypus or a duck . But he's got that kind of folk art look to him. I don't know what origin he might be. You'll perhaps be able to give me some ideas. Perhaps you've seen this kind of thing before. He was €5. Now, we've searched for glasses to drink out of for quite some time. Now, we've got a set of 5, which is a little random, but obviously the 6th one got broken, I should think. €4 for 5 in this lovely amber. Now, if you bought these new in Zara Home, how much do you think they would be? Maybe €10 each for this handmade, hand-blown kind of glass. Now, in the first part of the video, we looked at this watering can for €15. And on our return to pick up the tapestry, look at the magic price, €5. So we thought, well, that's a much better price as a little accessory. So if you then mix it in with the plants and the wicker as a display on the stall, that's going to be really cool. So let me swap to the other side and show you some of the studio pottery, because these items are really cool. So how about him? Love the colour, love the design. Even on the handle, look. And underneath you'll see kind of handmade, hand painted. I think that was, €8. That's exactly how much it was. So that's probably like £6 or something like that. So imagine that with some lovely flowers in. This we picked up on the first little haul as well. It's got some writing on it, which I'll have to do some research on. You can see at the front there. You guys might know what that says, or you've seen something like this before, and you can maybe comment below and let us know what this is all about. But we just thought it's quite interesting, nice texture, nice colour. So that was really fun. I think that was 5. So this one is really special. Looks almost like a West German piece maybe. It's got more of a shine to it probably than they would have. The glaze is very shiny. The colours are amazing. They're this green and I suppose almost like an orange earthy tone. Really nice. Nothing underneath. So we're not sure what this is all about. I did do a little Google image, and the only thing that came up was the shop that was selling this was their image, so which had no information. So we paid up a little bit for this. This was €18, so maybe £15. We just felt probably as a really special piece on a shelf, on a niche, on a table, this I suppose has to be worth maybe £40 maybe. I'll show you this, you'll be able to see. Oh! Okay, so I'll show you this lovely mirror. Hello! Lovely little edge to this. I mean, you see lots of wicker frames. This one was €24, so I don't know, £20, a bit less. And we thought because it's got this lovely kind of, I don't know what you'd call this, like scrolly edge, it is just a bit different, whereas some of the more plainer ones were a similar price, and we thought were just a bit ordinary. So then on the back, it actually just has a piece of cardboard to hold the mirror in with a few nails, so it's made in quite a primitive way. I would say, aside from the tapestry, which we'll look at in a minute, the find of the day was probably this clock. So, this clock is Spanish made. It's actually made of bronze and I think aluminium. And if it needs a bit of a clean, and you can see here where they've had the price sticker stuck on it. So it just needs a bit of a polish over. If we then look at the back, see it's quite roughly made in a sense, and we thought, well, it's kind of heavy, really heavy, and not anything fine when you look at it. Underneath, you can see here David Marshall, Spain, Seville, I think, yeah, and you thought, well, that's quite a cool thing. The little logo there looks quite mid-century as well. And you'll see there in this corner, although it's a little bit dirty, needs a bit of cleaning, that is his logo also embossed in there as well. So you think, well, that's quite a nice piece. I've taken out the mechanism because this is not working. And on the back here, this sits on the back when you've got the mechanism. But randomly, I just did a Google image on this just to see if there was any info. And it's quite desirable, David Marshall. He was in Spain in the 60s, in Malaga region. Then he went over to Seville, and his company still makes things today in America, where he moved much later. And this turns out to be like an amazing find. So I called Terry over. I said, you're never going to guess how much this could be worth. I mean, obviously, internet prices, you have to take them a little bit with a pinch of salt, but even if this was worth €300 or €400, for a €15 investment, so probably like £10, that's a pretty good return. So that is the find of the day. And that was literally one of the last things we picked up, almost as we were walking out of the store when we picked up the tapestry. Talking of which, so this was the reason obviously we went back to Murcia for the second time, and we're so glad we did. We thought, we can't get this in the car, how are we going to do this? So you will have seen we lashed it to the roof with minimal damage to the vehicle, but we were determined. The interesting thing for us was the fact that it was in these kind of colours. That's what stood out to us. Some other ones they had in the shop were in bright orange, bright red, bright blue, very, I suppose more, in my mind, typical colours, whereas this, just a bit more muted, interesting with the pinks and the greys and the naturals. A nice kind of beaten up, aged frame as well. So this was €60, which obviously is a chunk of money, but we felt for the size of the piece, it's like 4 foot by 5 foot, we felt this was really worth it, and has to be worth 200, maybe more, to the right person. You know, you're going to want to find that person who's got the spot for it, who loves the colours, maybe is into textiles, and can appreciate the work that's been put into it. So if you take a note of the colours on the front, we'll then show you the back, and then you'll see the difference that time and sunlight has made to it. So let's turn it around, and you'll see how bright and vibrant the back is. So the pinks and the purples really pop, don't they? So you can see it's slightly faded, but I think that also is in its favour because it works in a wider range of homes probably when it's a slightly more muted colour. So that we feel was a real good buy, and thanks to Scott Derling, our Canadian thrifter friend, who decided we might like this and pointed this out to us. He did a quick sweep of the store in Murcia and then said 50-50, 60-40, there's something really cool down the other end that you're probably going to like. And of course we did. An amazing haul from Murcia. So I'm going to hand over to Terry now, and he can tell you about his cool clothing finds and also some really cool jewellery too.
Can't believe I've not even got ready for something like
You
this.
record it, just go with it, we'll see how it goes. If you don't like it, we'll delete it and start again. And take one.
So hi guys, I've come on to...
You can tell I don't usually do the camera work, I've just got my finger over the lens.
Is it fuzzy? No. So hi guys, I've come on to haul some of the clothes and the jewellery. I think somehow I've just naturally got into liking that side of it. Whether that will progress, I don't know, and turn into my thing. Definitely jewellery, I think I've always loved that anyway. Like I said before, I think it's interesting to think who's worn it, who's loved it, who's gifted it to somebody. Shall I start with the clothes? So you might have seen on the footage that I tried this actual item on. We just thought we have to get it. I mean, I think that's what started, because we kept thinking, is it random to just have a little bit of clothing on the store when you're not really focusing on that? But then you see things and you can't bear to leave it behind because they're too nice and too good. So this little jumpsuit, which is from the 70s, and you know, it's just the coolest thing. Unfortunately, it's a little too small for me, as you would have seen. It was like a second skin on the legs, and I couldn't get the top part up to my shoulders. So if it was just a bit bigger, I would wear this. I love a jumpsuit and an overall. So this will go on the stall. I suppose it's going to be fitting for maybe a very small person or a teenage person. And yeah, it's just the coolest thing. I mean, even the color, the cord, everything about it, the pockets, they're so simple. And you can just see someone wearing this with a pair of Dr. Martens, you know, or some Birkies, and just sort of rocking it really at a festival. I think, and it's like, I think it is brand new, never worn. So that was another thing that attracted us to it. The next bit of clothing, I spotted this lovely little jacket. I mean, it looks like it's amazing quality. The fabric, it's lovely colors. It feels nice. Again, it's in perfect condition. You know, when you look all around the neck, collar line and things, And it's got beautiful buttons. Just very simple, and this lovely tasseled fringe all around the bottom. It's very boxy, which again, I love a boxy jacket anyway. I mean, this was €5. I'll put it on just so you can see just how it fits. I'll try not to touch the microphone, but look at that. It just sits perfectly. So short in the arms, but I think even that looks quite cool. So I think someone will look great in that. I mean, €5. So next up, we found this lovely little bag. I mean, whether someone's made it, it's really lovely. Crochet, a lovely design. I mean, even this little, just a little touch on the front here, some little tassels hanging at the back, and even the lovely little handle that's all crocheted, and the design is really lovely. I mean, someone spent a lot of time on that. And again, inside, literally like brand new. That's the key thing to buying clothes and things like that, and bags. I think if they're in good condition and you want them to look like they've never been worn really. Is the price still on it? €1. I mean, €1. Can you believe that? So that's a great buy. So then we got some really cool jewelry. So the first bangle I'll show you is this lovely black bangle with like almost like beige scuffs all around and a lovely angle to the bangle. I thought that's really nice. And then the next thing is this lovely yellow, almost like an 80s sort of colour really. And this lovely swirling design just going around all the way. I mean, it's just a great little piece. Obviously acrylic, it'll look great with other colours. Probably not gold, but I think people will just choose what they want to do with it. It's great for like adding a pop of colour to any outfit. And then this lovely sort of green, almost like mother of pearl really. And it's nice because it's undulating up and down, sort of narrow this side, and just the luster on it. So then the necklaces, I think this is definitely my favourite piece. I mean, I'll lay it on the table. It'll look lovely on the brass tabletop actually. It matches this lovely clasp on the top here. Almost like a bronze again. And then this lovely sort of piece that you push it through, these lovely glass, these definitely feel glassy to me. And then these lovely sort of clay blocks. This is really cool, almost like a brutalist style really. And a real mixture because you've got this real sort of brutalist sort of pieces with these lovely decorative glass bits. So I think this is quite a special piece. I can imagine somebody loved this, and probably handmade as well. Totally different style, but again, the chain is just lovely, almost like all little rectangles all joined together, and really lovely movement. And this just sits on the neckline. And then finally, just some really simple wooden beads. It's such a long string. Try not to touch my microphone. So I think that's probably a bit too much for anyone.
I'm liking the look.
And then I think it's going to be more likely doubled over and missing. Oh, I can't miss the microphone. And if it touches the microphone, there's going to be a lot of knocking and
oh no, ruined it.
Ruined. Great finds, and I hope you enjoyed all the jewelry and clothes.
So thanks for coming on our thrift adventure to Murcia. I think we'll definitely be back there. Hopefully you liked it enough to give us a thumbs up.
And make sure you comment and subscribe.
We really like hearing the comments, don't we?
We do.
We get messages from all over the world, and it really is fun to see what you all think. So continue with the comments, and we'll see you again next week when we do more thrifting in Spain.
Bye for now.
Bye.